Hey, what's going on, guys? It's boy Jermaine Houghton right here, and once again, thank you for allowing me to be your Forex mentor. One thing I can guarantee you guys, follow all the rules, you will be successful, right? A lot of you, if you've watched the other videos and you've been practicing what you've seen in the other videos, you can see that this stuff works. The only thing that I have to protect you guys from is yourself. I teach a lot of the technical aspects of trading, but 99% of trading is your mental state. Just dropped a video inside of the in the Remora Trading Academy video section. It was mostly just for your psychology because what I don't want people to expect is that you're gonna take this course and you're gonna take $1,000 and turn it into $10,000 in a week or in 2 weeks. That's the way how traders usually blow up their money or blow up their account. What I do expect is you can say, okay, if I have $1,000 and I make 3 to 4% a week, I'm making a killing. So just want everybody to have realistic goals in the beginning. Once you've mastered this, then you can have aggressive goals. Me myself, best month I've had was this was when I was just really up all night and trading I turned a $10,000 into like close to it would be like close to 90K, right? But I lost it all back because I was greedy, right? And I never did a withdrawal. And I just was like, hey, now that I'm not 90K, now I can go for the gusto and I can really make ten to $30,000 per day just doing the same system. But it's not the same because my psychology was off because of how much money I was dealing with at the time, and I wasn't really ready for that. That was a while ago. Learned a large lesson from it, and that's what was highlighted in the last video. Anyway, not going to talk too much about that. Got something I think will help a lot of the traders out. Want you guys to stick to the system, stick to the stop losses. You'll start realizing that, hey, if I get stopped out, it doesn't matter. If I'm wrong, the next trade is gonna make it all up and put me right back on the map. We only have to win 1 or 2 times to negate 4 or 5 losses. Just stick to your rules. Last week, some trades were bad. We got stopped out, but if you notice, we stopped out, but we were dead on with the direction. Sometimes I get back in on those trades, but we're not going to dwell on that. Let me go ahead with the lesson. What I want to show you guys is don't get caught up in the 3-minute trades that you guys see me post in my when we're doing webinars and I show you guys in the entries. I only use the 3-minute chart to enter something I've already set up, meaning that all my analysis is done on the large time frame, like on this 4-hour time frame is where I come to say, hey, let me take a look and see what's going on in the 4 hours, see if there's a possible trade I want to take. Now, here's a rule of thumb that I want everyone to stick to, okay? Stick to this rule, keep it in the chat. Somebody post something the other way, say, hey, we might possibly not want to take this trade because of what I'm about to show you, okay? If you look at the 4-hour chart and price is above the 100 moving average, on you guys, I'm paying for TradingView, so I get to put all kind of crazy stuff on here. I can put 1,000 indicators if I want to, but for you guys, it's only going to allow you to do 2. So what I want you to do is turn your 20 moving average and switch that and turn it into a 100. So you're going to have an 8 and a 100, okay? Now, what I want you to have as your filter is if price is above the 100 moving average, you only want to look for your long opportunities when you go to the smaller time frame, okay? So if you're here now and you're saying, hey, I'm going to set up a trade, first thing you're going to do is, number one, is determine the trend. So for your rules, your first thing is to determine what direction the market is trending in. So back in this area over here, you can see the market was trending up. So in this area, we were looking for any Fibonacci pullbacks, any ABCD patterns that would get us in the long direction, because with price being above the 100 moving average, it's saying, hey, the probability chances are high that you're going to win that trade, okay? So that way people do not get lost in the smaller time frame direction. Now, I didn't say I'm not going to trade off of this 4-hour. I'm going to trade on the smaller time frame, right? Maybe a 30-minute or a 15-minute, and I'm going to take my entry on a 3-minute. But if you have a job and you have to go to work, by all means, trade off the 4-hour chart. Do everything that we're doing, but do your trades on the 4-hour chart, because that trade is going to take a lot longer to play out You can go off to work, you can go hang out, you can do whatever it is you want to and not have to worry about, hey, let me see what that trade is doing because I have to close it out within the next 5 minutes. No, if you do a trade on the 4-hour chart, you're expecting to make major pips. And you're just going to sit on your hands and let the market do its work, okay? So that's why a lot of my trades start off on the 3 minute and you guys are like, man, we risked 20 pips and we got 200 to 300 pips. That's because I did my analysis here to say, hey, this market can possibly make a big move from this area that it is, and then I just used the smaller time frame to enter. Okay, that's why I said do not close your trade when you have a winner. Close if you want to, close a majority, but always leave a little bit running to see if you hit the long the long haul. Okay, so I'm doing all analysis on the 4-hour chart. So what I want you to do is say, hey, let me see what the 4-hour chart is doing. It's above the 100. Cool. Let me go to my regular chart that I always use now, is the 30-minute, and say, well, is there any place where it's giving me a signal for me to be able to get long in this market, okay? And that's what I was saying when I was referring in the chat to Future being doing everything correctly with his fibs. He always looked to go in the direction of the 100 moving average, okay? Now, if you're looking at the 4-hour, if you're looking at the 4-hour for a trade, don't come down here and say, well, it's above or below on this one. No, stick to what's going on the 4-hour and say, okay, I'm looking for any reason to get in this market to the upside, right? Because price is above. Currently, guys can see I've been telling you guys since Wednesday or Thursday that, look, we are going to be targeting Aussie dollar to go short because now it's below this 100. Any pullback most likely is going to stall at one of our fib ratio percentages, okay? So keeping this video short, you guys go back in your charts, put this into practice. You got anything kind of questions, throw it at me, a DM in the chat. And love you guys participating in the chat, sending me those charts. But keep it to a minimum. You want to target maybe 2 or 3 of these pairs maybe per week, right? You're going to say, hey, this is the one that looks the best. A lot of them will look good, but you want the best. I gave you all these options to say, hey, go ahead and pick out which one sets up for you the best that you want to put your money on that week. Last week, if you guys noticed, I was on Aussie dollar I kept saying Aussie dollar, Aussie dollar, Aussie dollar. I made a killing on my Aussie dollar calls, but I lost money on my USD CAD calls because USD CAD, I was on that too. Those were the 2 I was on. So this week, if a lot of trades I took GBP AUD, AUD CAD, AUD USD, EUR AUD. A lot of my trades were around the Aussie dollar because I saw a particular pattern in that pair that I focused on, okay? So that's how I want you guys to be. Pick the best one out of it. It's kind of like for the guys, if you go to the club, you're not going to start off and say, hey, let me find the worst girl in here to take home. At least not me, right? So maybe not that, right? Don't use that analogy. That was the old me coming out. Hope my wife doesn't watch this video. But take the best trade at all times. No need to find other ones once you have the best one set up. All right, guys, it's me, your boy Jermaine. And once again, thanks for being part of Remora Trading Academy. Any questions, send them to me.